What's up guys, welcome back or to the channel. Now I've got a little bit of a different video for you today. Today we're going to be talking about the Gladiator, and as you can see she's on 37s, and she's been on 37s for about 2.5 years, and I have a bit of mileage done, not too much because it's not my daily driver. I'm only sitting at about 26,000 kilometers total, but I did put the 37s on at 10,000. So I did most of my mileage in or on these wheels and tires, and I will show you them in just a second. But I do have to mention I do have a Taser JL, and that does make a little bit of a difference. Don't quote me on this, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure that the Taser JL gives you the speedometer, like it fixes the speedometer for you. I know that for sure because I've checked that through the GPS, but I'm not 100% sure. I do think it helps with the shift points in the transmission, and I could be wrong, I could be talking out of my ass, but I do believe it helps with that as well. And I do hit 8th gear. A lot of people say that they don't hit 8th gear. I do hit 8th gear. This is a Rubicon. I'm running 410 gears, and yeah, on the highway, depending on where we're cruising, obviously if you're going up a hill, it does downshift. But if you're cruising at like a regular flat road and you're going 100 or 60 miles per hour, I'm in Canada here, so I'm going to be talking in kilometers. But if I'm going 100 kilometers an hour or 60 miles per hour or anything up to like 80 miles per hour, like 130, 140-ish, it'll hit 8th gear as long as I'm cruising and I'm not trying to accelerate and I'm just maintaining a speed. I will show you guys, we're going to go for a drive in just a minute, but I'll show you guys quickly the tires and wheels that I'm running. So we have a set of Mickey Thompson Baja Boss ATs, and these are the all-terrains. They have a bit of siping and they are 3-peak rated. I am also on a lift, which I'll speak about in a moment, but these things here are a little bit hard to see upside down, but 37 12.5 by 17s. And the black Rhino rims, if you guys don't know much about them, well, you can tell they're heavy, and they are pretty heavy. These ones, I believe, weigh around 37 to 40 pounds, something like that. I can't remember exactly. I did remember back when I bought them, I knew exactly what the weight was, but the tire and wheel combo together, they're around 110 pounds, I believe. The tire's like 70 pounds, and the wheel is also like close to 40. So it's not a light package. And we are running a Clayton off-road 3.5-inch Overland Plus kit. So we have the full 8 arms. We've got the front and rear track bars. I'm also running a steering kit from TMR. So I have the TMR 2.5 ton. It's a little bit hard to see under there, but yep, she's in there. And we have the Fox Performance Elite 2.5 with the resis. So we've got the reservoirs there, and basically that's the full package. Now it does ride good with the full lift and everything, and the tires, even with the stock gearing at 410, it rides well. It really does, and I don't have many complaints, and I haven't had the urge to go and do the actual regear yet. I was planning on doing it, it was on my list, but to be honest with you guys, after driving it around for this long, I don't know how high on my list it is anymore. So I'm gonna close the garage and I'm gonna start the Jeep. Yeah, she's running now. So, because we're going through a heat wave right now, I don't know exactly what it is in Fahrenheit. I'll put it down in the description for you guys, but it is 34 degrees right now. So it's pretty warm. Like where we are here, we get winters, obviously, because we're in Canada, but we get pretty warm summers as well. So it's nice to get the heat. I'm actually enjoying it, I'm not complaining, but I do need to run the AC in that thing before I hop in. So what I was about to say is it does drive well. I haven't had the urge to regear it, especially after driving it for this long, and you guys will see by a few clips that I have here, it does well off-road. It honestly does. It crawls well. It doesn't feel like it moves too fast. It doesn't feel like it moves too slow. I did off-road it with the 33s and stock height, and then I off-roaded it with the 37s for a year at stock height, and it didn't rub, surprisingly. And now I have the lift, and I've off-roaded it a couple times with the lift, and to be honest, it's been driving well ever since. I haven't had any issues with the stock suspension. I haven't had any issues with the new suspension. And to be honest, I'm just happy with how everything is set up right now. and I don't think I'm in the market for gears. Like maybe one day. And to be honest with you guys, it wouldn't be really for any other reason than to gain a little bit of power back and just have that bit of power and able to use more power. Because obviously these Gladiators, they have a V6 and they're a little bit underpowered. In the Wrangler, it's not as bad, but this thing's a lot heavier, it's a lot bigger, and it definitely could use a little bit more, I think. But I think for now, let's go for a drive and I'll show you guys exactly what I'm talking about. We'll show you the cruising, I'll show you a little bit of acceleration, and we'll just talk about the general driving characteristics. But to be honest with you guys, I don't have any issues with the stock gearing. I have heard a few guys, because I do know a person that has a very similar setup to me with I think he's running 513s, and he told me that it's not really much gas savings because, well, now you're cruising at a higher RPM in the same gear because of your gearing. So it's not like you're doing it to save gas, you're kind of doing it more to get your power back. And I'm sure that it's nice to have the power back, but if I'm already burning what I'm burning, and it's not burning great, I'll show you guys, do I really want to be burning more just to get the power back? Because to be honest with you guys, when I'm off-road, I don't feel like I'm lacking power at any point. I don't feel like I need more, because when you're in 4 low, she drives great. Like, I haven't had any issues. Mind you, I'm not in Moab and I'm not rock crawling crazy walls and stuff like that, so maybe I would have the urge to do it when I had more crazy obstacles in front of me. But for now, for the trails that I have, it's been driving great. So let's go, let's hop in. I think it's cooled off by now, and let's go for a quick cruise. All right, we're in the Jeep now. We're gonna go for a drive, and I'm telling you, it is hella warm today, 42. I'm sure that's just because the Jeep's been sitting in the sun for a bit, but goddamn. So let's go and let's hit the road. So now we're cruising in the country, and you can see doing 85 in 7th gear. Now it just shifted down to 6th, but we were doing 7, and we're just cresting the hill now. So I'll let you guys watch it for a sec, and you'll see it actually does cruise pretty good. And we definitely do hit all the gears. And there we are, we're back in 7th, and we're just chilling. So it does cruise, and as far as power goes, well, she doesn't have a whole lot of power, but I will show you guys after this turn here. It does actually accelerate, like, like if you need it to, it'll go. Obviously you can drive it at highway speeds, you can drive it on back roads, whatever you want to do, it'll do it. So it's not like you're going to be struggling around, you're not going to be holding up traffic. It's not like one of your older Jeeps like a TJ or something like that, so you're not going to have to worry. And you can see we're still sitting there in 7th gear, so it's chilling. It's chilling. It's definitely not too bad, and gas mileage isn't amazing, as you can see there. We're burning about 17.9, and that's because I've been doing mostly city driving, and I just recently filled the tank, and I reset that every time I fill the tank. So it's not amazing, 17.8, so it is going down because now we're actually doing backcountry drives, and we're cruising a little bit more than just accelerating and stopping all the time like we do in the city. But I'll show you guys in just a moment, once I can scroll through, because I'm coming up to a light, and I can put the camera down for a second. I'll scroll through and show you guys. Actually, I can probably get there like this. Hold on, let's make this turn. So, after my last oil change at right around 1,300 kilometers, we're also burning 17. So slightly less than our average of 17.8 right there, but you can see it doesn't actually burn very well. And I didn't buy the Jeep to be fuel economic, I did not buy the Jeep to be economic on fuel. I bought the Jeep to be fun, and it definitely is fun. It's a great time. I love driving this thing. I love taking it off-road. I enjoy driving it anywhere I take it, and right now we're going on some errands and I'm taking the Jeep because, well, I enjoy driving the Jeep. It actually does drive well. It's not like one of your old TJs or something like that, and I know I say TJ a lot, but that's because that's what I had and that's what I can compare it to. I never had a JK, but you can see we're not sawing back and forth on the steering wheel. We're driving like normal. Like, it's a pretty decent vehicle to drive, and it's not anything crazy. Obviously, if the wind blows, you are in a lifted Jeep, and yeah, it's gonna blow you around a bit. It doesn't drive like a car, but it doesn't drive like what Jeeps used to drive like. So it's definitely not bad. I definitely don't mind it, and I think that this thing drives awesome, and the gearing doesn't bother me. It's one of the things that I think about least, to be honest about. And I think I'm gonna keep driving it at this setup for now, and if I do feel like I need to upgrade, or if I feel like I need to get myself anything like a 487 or a 513, then I'll probably go that route. But I also have to mention, I've got nothing in the bed, so there's nothing back there. You can't really see it because my camera's in the way, but there's nothing back there. So I have pretty much an empty bed. I do fill the bed up when I go off-roading, but the stuff that I put in there doesn't weigh more than about 100 or 200 pounds. I've got some tools and some straps and some other stuff that I throw in there, but like I said, it's not going to be more than about 200 pounds. So that is what it is. That's how my Jeep is set up. Hopefully this can help you guys somewhat in your upgrade process and let you guys in on a little bit of what living with it is like. But to be honest with you guys, I have no issues with it. For me, it's great. I have hauled a couple things. I haven't hauled a trailer. I have filled the bed up probably to about 700 or 800 pounds, and it drove fine then. I didn't have an issue. I didn't feel like I was actually struggling, or I didn't really feel the weight back there. All I really felt was the suspension, because obviously the suspension feels a little bit different when you have it loaded out, and to be honest with you guys, it feels better. It feels a lot better, actually. It gives you a little bit more of a cushy feel, maybe because it's riding in that zone that it is designed to be in, because maybe they tune these shocks for people who have weight, and I obviously have the knobs so I can tune them however I want. But out of the box, I think they tune these more for a heavier rig than just a stock Jeep. They're expecting you to have a couple other mods, and I don't have too much, so my Jeep is on the lighter side as far as Jeeps go. I guess you can say. Okay, so I pulled off and there's nobody behind us, so let's pull back on and let's see, from a dead stop, can we get her to squeal? Not today. It's a little warm out, but you can see it does accelerate. Like, it's nothing crazy, nothing to write home about. You're not winning any races unless you're racing older Jeeps, but to be honest with you guys, it drives great. It really does. I don't really have any complaints about the acceleration or the power. Now, it's a little hot, so let's turn the AC back on, but I'm happy. And if you guys are worried about it and you have a Rubicon, then definitely go for it. Put the bigger tires on for now and see exactly what you guys think once you drive it around for a bit. Don't stress too much, because to be honest with you guys, you're not hurting the Jeep, and the only thing you're really losing is your power, because your gearing is now off because of the tire size. So if you're all right with going down a little bit in your power numbers, and honestly it's a Jeep, so I'm not out here trying to go and race anybody, so I'm happy with how it drives. So if you're not going to be going crazy and you're just taking it off-road and you drive it daily and you drive it to work and you want to take it on the highway and some back roads and you want to do normal driving, then you're fine. Now, if you want to go nuts and you really need your Jeep to squeal tires and drift corners, well, maybe lifting your Jeep and putting bigger tires isn't for you, but regearing will help you get a little bit of power back for sure. Now, if you're going anything bigger than a 37, I can't really speak on that because I haven't driven with those, but I can tell you that still, go out and try it. Drive around with it for a bit, see exactly how you feel, see if you really feel like you need more power. And everybody's rig is different, everybody has a different setup, everybody has a different goal in mind for what they want to use their rig for and how they want their rig to drive. So this is my opinion and this is my experience and my feedback to you guys, but personally I'm more than happy with driving my Rubicon on 37s without regearing for now, until I add any other mods or I do anything crazy. For now I think I'm happy, and if I end up putting on some kind of a bed topper or some kind of a bed rack with a tent eventually in the future, which is what I plan on doing, I might end up having to do a regear, and maybe I'll go to 487s or 513s, who knows. But that'll be the case for the future, and I'll make a video on that for you guys, and I'll explain my reasoning, and I'll explain what gears I'm going with and why I did it and how it drives at that point. But this is where we're at now, and I'm pretty happy with it. So let's go and let's head back to the house. I think I'm pretty much done explaining to you guys how it drives. There's not much else I can say. If there's anything else you guys want to know, then definitely drop me a line in the comments, ask me anything you need, and I'll be happy to respond. But driving dynamic wise, she drives pretty good, and she cruises well, she drives well on the highway. Whenever I have to go to a trail, I actually live 4 hours, 3.5 with light traffic from the closest trail. So a 3.5 hour drive in this thing is actually not bad at all, and it's not a pain in the ass. So I don't mind it, I do it, and I've done it a couple times actually now since I've moved. I think I've done it 3 times, and it hasn't been bad. I actually don't mind it in this Jeep, and it keeps up on the highway with traffic. You can pass people, so I actually don't have any issues whatsoever driving wise. Well, we're back, and that pretty much sums it up. Daily driving, no issues really. It drives fine. If you're taking it on longer drives, I haven't had a problem yet. Then again, my drives are only 4 hours each way, but that's the longest drive I've taken it on so far. The third, off-roading, it's great. I haven't had any issues off-roading either. She honestly drives almost as close to stock as I would find, because I've been driving it for this long with the tires that I haven't really noticed, that I sometimes forget I'm still on stock gears. I did have the 33s for about a year, and I'm 3 years into ownership on this right now. And the first year, it drove fine, and it did have a little bit more pep, definitely. The acceleration is where you notice it most. The top end, you don't really notice it as much, but I would say the acceleration right off the line, you would definitely notice the difference right away after you put the 37s on. But I recommend getting yourself the bigger tires, putting them on there, trying it out, seeing exactly how they react, seeing how your situation, whether you live in an environment with lots of hills like I do, and I don't find an issue, or you live in an environment that's very flat, and just see how it drives. Yeah, that's all I can really say. Hopefully this video helped you guys out. Once again, this is on a 410 on a Rubicon, so if you guys have any other gear sets, I can't really speak on those because I don't have experience on that, and I don't really know anybody that has those except for one other gentleman, so I can ask him. If you guys do have questions, I can probably ask him some questions. But yeah, as far as the Rubicon goes, she drives pretty good. And like I said, if you guys have anything to ask, jump down there in the comments. If you're new around here, please hit that subscribe button, give this video a share, and hopefully I'll see you guys in the next one. But until then guys, ride safe out there. Peace.